Okay, welcome back guys. So in today's video we will gonna discuss the DaemonSet. What is DaemonSet, right? So DaemonSet is nothing, right? It just makes sure, like in Linux based system, you know that each system is having some kind of daemon is running, like system D, right? And it is running on each and every node. So similarly, in the Kubernetes also we have something called DaemonSet where we want to run a pod on each node, right? L- Technically, there are way like you can just bind all those ports where you want to run it, right? But that is something that the extra overhead on your admin you need to do, and then probably you can run those pod on particular node, right? But what if by default, if there is something that which we can run a pod on each node, and the moment you add a new node in the cluster, it will automatically get deployed, and the moment you delete your node, same way it will go beyond. It will go from your cluster. The pod will get deleted, right? So that's what it is working. So it just makes sure a copy of a pod runs on each and every node, right? So now, what is the use case for this, right? Before we jump into the uh, technical thing or maybe practice, let's discuss the technical use case, right? There is a good example of the monitoring, right? Like you want to run some kind of monitoring on each node where you want to make sure that okay, what is happening with my node, what are the status of the pod or anything XYZ, whatever you want to monitor, right? You can run that application as a daemon set on your each node, which will give you a kind of like a Prometheus or Fluentd, Elasticsearch, whatever you want to run, right? Probably you can do uh, logging purpose as well, right? The Fluentd you can do, right? Networking component you can see. I will show you that by default also that Kubernetes uses this daemon set, like the proxy we have done, right? Because proxy is something related to the network, right? Because we are not setting any of the new network when we add a node in our cluster. It is automatically get deployed, right? Let me quickly show you. If I just say kubectl get ports hyphen n cube system, and I will say this one. So here you can see, maybe let's say just grep for proxy. So here you can see that kube proxy is automatically running on each node, right? And if I just say kubectl, ds is nothing, ds is just a daemon set. So here you can see we have one something called kube proxy. See, right? So this is something that the by default also Kubernetes installation works with this daemon set, because that is the purpose of this daemon set, right? You want to extend something across all nodes, so always use a daemon set, right? So that's what we have. Let's take a quickly one demo here. So what I have done is I have gone through the documentation of the daemon set from the Kubernetes official website, and I have copied this file from there. So it is doing nothing, right? It is just same file where we have seen for the replica set or the deployment, right? Only the kind is the different, and we don't have the replica here because daemon set will itself will gonna run a one copy of your pod across all nodes, right? That's what the daemon set is. Apart from that, you can see that it is almost the same what we have seen for the replica set, and that, and it has been already pushed. So what I am gonna do it, let me clear the screen, and we have the CKA, we have the labs. Okay, so okay, 17 number is not there. Let's quickly pull. I think I haven't pushed it. Let me quickly push it. Let's see. Git status. Yeah, it was never pushed. So let me add quickly. and it has been added. Now let's say pull is working or not. Yeah, it is working. Now we have this file called DaemonSet.yml, right? If I show you get ds, in default file system we don't have any DaemonSet is running, right? So let's create it. 17, right? So here you can see that it is deployed. It has deployed a something called monitoring port. Two are desired, two is current, right? Why? Because now you will say you mentioned that one copy of node will gonna run on each node, right? So each node, when I say that, that could be the master node as well, right? And if I'll say get pod, I will explain you. Now you can see we have only two copies of running, right? Why it is not on master? Well, that we have already discussed in last video, right? Taint and toleration. Because by default we have that no schedule policy taint effect on the master node, right? Let me show you one more time. Here you can see, right? And DaemonSet will always go with the scheduler, and it will show you that okay, you have that policy, and that is something that your pod cannot tolerate. So I'm not gonna schedule anything. On this node, we don't have any taint or something, obviously. So these are the good candidates to schedule these pods, and due to that, it has already scheduled, right? If you want to see what is happening with that DS, so probably you can just go and okay, you can copy and you can see here in what is the all thing happen. You can just describe in any like we have done for other resources. So same thing you can describe your daemon set as well. So these are the just basic details which we already know, right? That is happening, right? Let me show you kubectl get ports hyphen n, and I want to show you cube systems hyphen o y. Mm, so here you can see that there are hell lot of ports are running, right? Which might comes from the, if I'll show you get ds hyphen n, again the cube system I want to list. So here you can see that we have two daemon set in cube system namespace. One is the cube proxy and another one is ViewNet. So you can see that we have three ViewNet ports are running, which is on cube node 1, 2 and master. We have the cube proxy. So cube proxy also you can see that it is running on node 1, 2 and master, right? So these are the default daemon set, we can see that, which is coming from the Kubernetes installation automatically, right? We have the scheduler is running, we have the API. So these are the other different kind of uh, what do you say that the core concept of our Kubernetes, which is running here, right? But we are discussing the daemon set. So daemon set, you can see we have the kube proxy and we have the ViewNet from the kubenet system, cube system, which is running on each node, right? And whatever we have deployed, that is also running in default file system, default namespace, sorry. And here we can see that this. So one thing I have mentioned, when you add a new node in the pod, right, cluster, so what is happening is by default this will gonna add one more, right? So let's see. Okay, before I do this, let me just quickly, there is a command called create dash dash sprint, because what I have done is I have created one more, I think join command, join command. Uh, okay, it's cube ADM, not kubectl, right? Because that's what we are using. Okay, fine. Now, what I have done is I have created a one more node here, right? In the same network, and I just want to join this node to my cluster, right? And I can see that, or I wanted to see whether a daemon set, the moment that daemon set is running, right? Because this deployment we have done with the daemon set, right? And daemon set says whenever you add a new node in your cluster, I am gonna deploy one more pod on that, because that is the purpose, right? One copy of each pod is gonna run on each node, right? So let's quickly add it, and it's added. Let's wait, because it needs to be initialize some internal stuff, and then it will gonna add and it will deploy this. See, it is creating, right? I haven't done anything. So that is how that daemon set working. The moment you remove this, it will gonna remove it, right? Now if I just run this, so you can see there is one more monitoring pod running on node 3 as well, which is just started 18 seconds ago, right? Let's see from the kube system namespace. So here you can say earlier we have 3 VNet was running, right? But here you can see on node 3, one more pod was started 45 seconds ago, and somewhere for the queue proxy as well. Because this is something the internal network mechanism, right? Then only that you can your service will be extended across all node, right? That is the good candidate for the daemon set, which you can deploy as a daemon set, and the moment you do it, it will gonna do it, right? Let's see if I'm gonna, so as of now run. Let's see if I'm just make this node as unreachable. Stop kubelet. Okay, it is stopped, so probably it will go away. But yeah, it will take time, that the grace period we have discussed, right? Meanwhile, what I will show you, I will show you the document for the daemon set, and I strongly recommend to go with the documentation for the daemon set, right? Because that is the way, like, we need to understand more on this daemon set, right? What is the required field, what is the port template you need to put, how you can select the port selector. Because when you are deploying your own application, or maybe you are deploying some kind of logging application or monitoring application, that, so how come you want to make sure that which port you want to configure, or maybe you want to monitor, right? That's what you need to deploy in your port. If you have applied the taint and toleration to your node, right, then also that daemon set also must be using, or maybe having that kind of toleration, so that it can tolerate that taint and it can be deployed. Otherwise, we have seen that, right, our monitoring port was never scheduled on master node. Why? Because it was not able to tolerate that no schedule something this taint effect, right? That is what, how you can communicate all this stuff you can done. Okay, these are the two thing good. Bare pod is nothing, that individual pod you can run, right? It is also, it is possible to create a pod directly which specify a particular node to run on. We can specify that we can just the node name or node selector you can use, and you can run directly, right? So you don't need to run it. But a daemon set replaces pod that are deleted or terminated for any reason, such in this case node failure or disruptive node maintenance. But if you are deploying it manually, right? So there is no one to take care, so obviously it will never get started. But daemon set will take care of those, like we have for deployment and replica set. Static pod is also a good kind of concept, but will not go in deep, because it is something that the Kubernetes follow when it is installing it, right? Okay, it is still running, so we need to wait until it go. Let me see. Kubectl get nodes. So it is not ready, so probably it will, because we know that after 5 minutes or so that the eviction time is for the node, right? It's still in that grace period time. So we will keep it running, but we'll discuss this static pod that time. Static pod is nothing. Static pod is something. which is not managed by, I would say, API kubelet, right? Or maybe I would say kube API server, right? There are two type of pod. One is the pod which is managed by the kube API server, and the another one is the static pod, right? Static pod you never control with the kubelet, like we are running kubectl get pod, right? So how it come to know that okay, in which node it is running and everything, right? It is something coming from the kube API server, because kubelet talk to API server and API server will talk to the kubelet running on the target node, and it will get the information and will get displayed here. That's what it is doing it, right? Now how you can deploy a static pod? Yes, there is a possibility. What you can do is you can just place your YAML file, whatever that YAML file you can do under something called static directory, they call it. I forgot the term. We will check, right? Because if I'll go and if I'll just cat where lib kubelet and config, probably yes, and let's search for static. Yeah, static pod path. They call it static pod path, right? So as of now, we have already seen this, right? This directory we have seen, and here we have some YAML file. What are all these? So, and there is one more thing. If you want to identify the pods, right, which is whether the static pod or not, right? So they always ends with the node name. So here you can see etcd. It is running on kube 80. So if I'll just say void, so you can see etcd is running on Kubernetes master. So it is ending with hyphen Kubernetes master. API server master, controller manager, scheduler, right? So all these are static pod, because we have four file, right? etcd.yaml, you can see etcdk at master, etcd API server, and it is there. Controller manager, it is there. Scheduler, it is there, right? So if I just say, let's say if I copy one of the file in etc Kubernetes and manifest, right? And if I'll just say, so is there any new pod come? Let's see. In the default, you can see that web1 k8 master was started 10 seconds ago, right? So Kubernetes knows already, right, the how to tackle with the static pod. It is altogether a different topic. Maybe some other day I will create a dedicated video on the static pod. But here you can see that the moment you put that particular pod YAML file on that static pod path, right, which we just seen from the config file, it has already started, right? And there is one more thing. I think we cannot directly delete it. I never tried, but let's see. I want to see the pod, right? So let's try to delete this pod, because we are not managing it with kubelet, right? So obviously deleted. Okay, it has deleted. Might be I was wrong. No, see, it has already started, right? So how we can delete it? Let me show you. You need to do Kubernetes manifest and 02, and if you go, you can see that your pod is gone away. So that is the static pod, right? You just need to configure your static pod path. You can configure using the kubelet service file, or maybe in the config file you can change it, right? And then you can just place the cube, whatever the file you want to use, that pod definition file, and it will automatically get created, right? That's what it is doing. It is still on running, so maybe it will make take time probably. Okay, it is not running. Yeah, now it is showing, but it is not ready, so probably it will go away in some few more minutes. It is still going for the grace period, right? But yeah, that was the concept of your daemon set. We have seen that the moment you do it, it will automatically doing it, right? Or maybe what we can do is we can, I think, remove this node and then we'll see. Okay, kubelet remove node. Uh, okay, I think cube adm is the command. Probably. Let me see. I'm not sure how to. I'm sure, but it is something. Yeah, I am correct. It is something. This one only. Kubectl delete. Okay, not remove, right? It is delete. So it is deleted, right? Now if I say kubectl get pod node, we don't have anything running, and let's see what is happening to the pod. Okay, the reason is there is another way to do this stuff. There is something called drain, and I would say k8 node 3. But yeah, it will go away in some time. That's what it is doing, right? So yeah, that was the kind of daemon set we have seen in this video, how you can deal with the daemon set, what is the use case, monitoring, let me say the logging, or maybe some kind of which you want to extend, right? Extend the app across all cluster. That is the good term, right? That's what you can see how it is doing. Now you can see our pod is no more running. There is only two because node 1 and node 2, right? Because it is taking time internally to detect whether the target node is there or not and everything. But there is a good way to drain out first. Drain will what? Drain will uh, evict all the running pod on that particular node, right? Maybe you can ignore the daemon set, but yeah, it good way is to drain it. And once the drain, everything will gonna remove it, right? Let me see if I drain node 2. So you can see drain to it is cordon, right? Error unable to drain node due to error, cannot delete daemon set. Yeah. So what I will do is I will say ignore daemon sets, right? But that way again, we will not gonna achieve our stuff, right? What, like the daemon set will be still running on this node, right? But this is something that you will do while do with the maintenance, right? I will show you this thing again. Don't forget like forget about whatever we have done with this command, right? You can see that there was a metrics server, cube system metric server was run and it was affected and k node 2 has been drained. If I just show you the pod, so you can see DaemonSet is still running because we explicitly mentioned the ignored, but as of now there is nothing. But maybe we'll show you when we have multiple pods running and when you are ignoring or deleting it, what it will do. It will evict those pod and probably schedule on another node, right? But that is again a different topic. Okay, so that's it, I think, from the uh, what do you say, this daemon set, right? So again, maybe we'll see that what next we have in our bucket, and we'll see in next video. Okay, so that is something you need to understand. That daemon set is something which runs a copy of pod on each node, and it is a good example or maybe use case for the monitoring, logging, or whatever the extent you want to extend across the cluster. All right, so yeah, that's it from the day. I will meet you in the next video. Again, if you, I have a request. If you like my content, then please support me.
like and subscribe, and we'll share more information going forward. Thank you.